Hey friends, my name is Jack David. Today, I am not just going to talk about this car. I am going to talk about a terrifying part of my life that shook me to the core. So please, give me a little bit of your precious time. Do not skip this video, because I am going to share with you that terrifying incident of my life which, perhaps, should not happen to anyone. When I was a small boy, Jack David, meaning me, I was very naughty. But at the same time, I was extremely intelligent too. The child at whom my whole family would point the finger and say with pride that this boy will become a scientist one day. Exactly, this is what my relatives used to say about me. They used to say, one day Jack will make our country proud. I was the kind of student who would look at a book just once, and I would remember it immediately. I used to be the topper in every class. But then the 5th grade exams happened and holidays started. I was sure that I would come first in my class again. This was my nature. Whatever I intended to do, I would do it. But this very nature of mine, this very stubbornness, was finally going to destroy me. During those holidays one day, I sat on my dad's motorbike. I sat there with full excitement and hope, thinking that I could ride it. I was just a 9 or 10-year-old kid. I didn't know that a child shouldn't sit on a motorbike like that. But I sat and I drove it. And then everything went dark. I went straight and crashed into a tree. The front part of the motorbike was completely destroyed, and my head split open from the front. They took me to the hospital immediately. I stayed in the ICU. An operation happened, and for a full month, I kept fighting the battle between life and death in a coma. The doctors had clearly told my parents, he's not going to survive, but by God's will I survived. I got a new life, but to be honest, to this day, I haven't understood whether this new life was good luck or bad luck. It took me a full year to recover. 1 year of my school life was wasted. Anyway, after 1 year, I sat in the 6th grade. The physical wounds had healed, but the mental wounds still remained. I was very happy that I was going back to school, but then a tragedy happened. Whatever my teacher taught me, nothing would stay in my mind. I tried very hard. I would sit for 3 full hours to memorize my homework, but as soon as I closed the book, I would forget everything. I went crying to my mom and dad. I said to them, Mom, I can't remember anything. Don't worry. They took me to the doctors. The doctors revealed that an important part of my brain was affected, the hippocampus. This is the brain's save button. When this gets damaged, the human system of saving becomes weak. I could remember old things, but new things would slip from my mind like sand. That day my mom cried a lot, but she kept my school going. Now I had become the most useless student of my class, the same boy who used to be a topper, whose examples were given. Dragging myself along, I reached the 9th grade. Before the 9th grade exams, I wept bitterly. I was understanding everything about what had happened to me. I complained to God, oh God, why didn't you let me die that day? I didn't want this helpless life. That day, I made a very important and painful decision. I clearly told my mom and dad that I don't want to study further, because now I couldn't memorize anything. Mom and dad knew my pain, so with a heavy heart they said, it's okay. I started staying very sad. People used to say I would become a scientist, and now I went into severe depression. I even tried to commit suicide several times, but then, with a little hope, and to support my family, I stepped into the world of YouTube. I, along with a partner, created a car review channel in the hope that perhaps here I might find my lost identity. But here too, views don't come. I don't get likes on my videos. So please, if you are watching the videos, then please subscribe to me. Support me so that I can become a support for my mom and dad. This accident taught me one thing. Control is everything. One moment of losing control destroyed my past. If you want to watch a detailed video about my entire journey, then please write journey in the comments. And in the end, I have a plea to all of you with folded hands. For God's sake, don't just raise your children. Give them your time. Protect them. Childhood is fragile like glass, friends. One wrong decision, one moment of negligence, turns a laughing and smiling home into a ruin. I don't want another Jack David to be born in any home in the world, who sheds tears over his own lost potential. Keep your children close to your chest. Keep an eye on them, because when time slips out of hands, a human is left with only regret. It is my heartfelt prayer that the terrifying darkness I saw never comes into anyone else's life. So let's go. Let's move towards our topic for today. Before we begin, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because today, we are not just looking at a car, we are witnessing the resurrection of a legend. Stay with me and watch this video until the very last second, because I am going to reveal a secret engineering feature about this car that defies the laws of modern physics, something that will literally shake you from your head to your toes. You think you know what a supercar is? You have no idea what's coming. Ladies and gentlemen, the automotive world has been holding its breath for over a decade. We have seen Ferraris, we have seen Lamborghinis, and we have seen the rise of silent electric hypercars. But there has been a ghost haunting the industry, a shadow of a car that was so perfect, so acoustic, and so emotional that its absence left a void in our hearts. I am talking about the legendary Lexus LFA. For years, rumors have swirled, whispers in dark corners of the internet about a successor. Well, the whispers have stopped and the screaming has begun. This is the 2026 Lexus LFR. This is not just a machine. It is a statement. It is a declaration of war against the silent, soulless future of driving. Let's start with what hits you first, the presence. Imagine a predator stalking its prey. The design of the LFR is not just about looking good. It is about violence and elegance combined. Derived directly from the Toyota GR GT3 concept, this car sits low, impossibly wide, and stretches out with a hood long enough to land a plane on. The front fascia is an evolution of the Lexus spindle body, but it's more aggressive, more functional. Massive air intakes swallow the atmosphere to feed the beast within, while the slim, piercing LED headlights look like the eyes of a samurai staring down an opponent. Every curve, every line you see on this bodywork is sculpted by the wind. It is carbon fiber poetry. As your eyes move along the side profile, you notice the classic Grand Tourer proportions, a long dash to axle ratio that promises power, sending a clear message that the engine is the star of the show. And the rear, it is dominated by a massive, active wing and a diffuser that looks like it was ripped straight off a Le Mans race car. It is beautiful, yes, but it is a terrifying kind of beauty. But let's talk about what really matters. The heart. In an era where everyone is downsizing, where V12s are dying and V8s are being replaced by batteries, Lexus has done something brave. They have done something rebellious. Under that massive vented hood lies a brand new, twin-turbocharged 4.0-liter V8 engine. But wait, it's not just an engine. It is a hybrid masterpiece. Now I know what you are thinking. Hybrid? Does that mean it's boring? Does that mean it's quiet? Absolutely not. This hybrid system isn't here to save the polar bears. It is here to fill the gaps in torque and make this car launch like a rocket. We are talking about an expected combined output of over 800 to 900 horsepower. Just let that sink in. This is a Lexus that rivals the Ferrari 296 GTB and the Mercedes AMG GT Black Series. The acceleration is projected to be mind-bending, with a 0 to 60 time likely shattering the 2.5 second mark. However, speed is just a number. Anyone can make a fast car these days. What made the original LFA legendary wasn't its speed, it was its soul. It was the sound. The LFA had a V10 that sounded like an F1 car from the 90s, tuned by Yamaha musical instrument experts. So, the biggest question on everyone's mind is, can the LFR match that? Can a twin-turbo V8 ever sound as good as a naturally aspirated V10? This brings me back to that secret I mentioned at the start of the video. The thing that will shake you. Lexus engineers knew they had an impossible task. They knew you would compare this to the LFA, so they have developed a bespoke exhaust, layout, and a unique firing order for this V8 specifically, to mimic the high-pitched wail of the original LFA. But that's not the secret. The secret is in the transmission. Most hybrids have boring gearboxes, but rumors and patents suggest that the Lexus LFR might feature a revolutionary simulated manual transmission for its electrified powertrain. Imagine driving a 900 horsepower hybrid monster, but you still get the physical, mechanical engagement of shifting gears, the jolt of the clutch, the absolute control over the machine. This is the technology that changes everything. It bridges the gap between the analog past we love and the digital future we are heading towards. If this feature makes it to the final production model, it will be the single greatest innovation in driver engagement in the last 20 years. It means you are not just a passenger in a computer. You are the pilot. You are the master of the machine. Now step inside the cockpit with me. The door feels light, almost weightless, thanks to the carbon fiber construction. You drop down into the seats, low, very low. The interior of the LFR is a strict two-seater affair. It is not a living room. It is a command center. Lexus has ditched the clutter. The focus is entirely on the driver. A focused digital instrument cluster sits behind a steering wheel that feels molded to your hands. There is Alcantara and premium leather everywhere, stitched with the kind of obsession for detail that only Japanese Takumi masters possess. But unlike a luxury sedan, everything here is tightened up. The center console rises high, separating you from the passenger, making you feel cocooned. You have physical buttons for the most important controls: traction control, drive modes, and launch control, because when you are doing 200 miles per hour, you don't want to be fumbling with a touch screen. Let's talk about the driving dynamics. The chassis of the LFR is shared with the upcoming GT3 race car. This means the road car you can buy is essentially a race car with a license plate. The suspension is expected to be an adaptive pushrod system, capable of being comfortable enough for a drive to the casino in Monaco, but stiff enough to crush lap times at the Nürburgring. The grip will be mechanical and immense. With the battery pack mounted low and central, the center of gravity is practically underground. This car won't just turn, it will rotate around you telepathically. You think about the corner, and the car is already at the apex. The steering is expected to be hydraulic or a highly advanced electric rack that transmits every grain of asphalt directly to your fingertips. This is what the F in LFR stands for, Fuji Speedway. It is born on the track. Now we have to address the price. Excellence is never cheap. The original LFA cost $385,000 back in 2011, and today they sell for over $1 million. The 2026 Lexus LFR is expected to start somewhere in the $200,000 to $300,000 range, putting it right in the crosshairs of the Porsche 911, GT3 RS and the Aston Martin Valhalla. It is a lot of money, yes, but you are not buying a car. You are buying a piece of history. You are buying the successor to the greatest supercar ever made. You are buying entry into an exclusive club of people who value emotion over statistics. As we approach the end of this journey, remember that secret I told you about earlier? The manual transmission simulation and the acoustic engineering? That is the key. That is the shake you from head to toe moment. Because when you downshift that V8 hybrid at 9,000 RPM, and you feel that mechanical kick in your back, and you hear that wail that reminds you of the LFA, you will realize something profound. You will realize that the soul of driving is not dead. They told us the future would be silent. They told us the future would be autonomous. The 2026 Lexus LFR looks the future in the eye and screams, no. It proves that technology can be used to enhance emotion, not replace it. So, is the LFR worth the hype? Is it worthy of the LFA legacy? From everything we know, from the specs to the design to the hidden engineering marvels, the answer is a resounding yes. It is a love letter to the internal combustion engine, signed with tire smoke and carbon fiber. It is the ultimate driving machine for the modern era. Thank you for watching Futureverse. If this car moved you, if you felt that spark of excitement, then hit that like button. Share this video with someone who needs to know that real cars are still being built. And tell me in the comments, would you take the LFR over a Ferrari? I'll see you in the next video, where we uncover more secrets of the future. Drive safe and keep dreaming.